Same thing as last time. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Video Chicken Live. My name is Matt. I have Kristen with us. We got an awesome show today, so we got to get right into it. Oh, here she comes. It's time for Video Chicken. Don't hit the lights. What is wrong with you? To my left, co-host, chickenista, chicken expert, Kristen. Today is going to be an awesome show. Look at Goosebumps.
Yeah. Coyotes are everywhere.
What's going on, Kristen?
Oh, I was just getting my chicken poop necklace on.
Can I get some? Someone's already pooped. Ingrid's like doing her job. Ask and you may receive. Ingrid is on it.
Don't blame it on me.
Oxygen is the solution to foul odors.
I just felt it on my back. It's warm and oh, God.
I knew I was going to have serious problems that, like, the coop remained that much better than the house forever.
The coop is beautiful, by the way. I'm not trying to plug your products by any means.
Please do.
Lipstick, give me a makeup kit. You know, I'll be nice and pretty for the crows.
Oh, so let's pull out another chicken. This is like a magic trick. Up to 1 o'clock already. Oh my God. We have a new Ingrid.
Memo. I missed the memo.
Know a lot of people who do raise rabbits alongside their chickens.
Why would you wait till the last minute to pull out your homework?
Have we met before?
Yeah, that's a good one with the cords and everything.
This falls right off, and he regrows a new one the following spring.
Calm down, Matt. Calm down.
Why?
This is a really interesting show.
It's see?
Yeah.
My fault. I love it, Cindy. You just earned yourself a shirt. I love that.
Yes, Matt, you are right.
I had no idea what to expect when we opened up that box, and this is why we love what we do.
That's my goal, is to really bring people together through chickens.
The power of chickens.
So.
What's going on, guys? Again, welcome to Video Chicken Live. It is noon. It is Friday. It is the best day of the week because we are here at Video Chicken. We got a phenomenal show. I have had goosebumps through that entire promo because I am so excited about today. Mm-hmm. We are going to have some awesome guests on.
I love to have guests
that are getting a chicken coop in the next couple weeks, and I asked them to come on and have a conversation with us. That is a very important conversation, and it's all about we decided on a chicken coop. We decided on roughly how many chickens. I don't think they quite accept the chicken math thing that that absolutely will come. But then the guest that's gonna be on today, he said, okay, the most important conversation right now is what do we do for getting chickens? And I said, you know what? I would love to have you guys on, and I would love to share with the world that conversation because that is so important.
Right.
All right. We know how important the chicken coop is, but what I really want to do, and this show is all about educating you guys out there, especially that our job is to get the people that are maybe on the fence. They're not sure if they should get chickens or not.
Well, that's where I come in. I'm the chicken pusher.
So you are, yes. So today you are in
the OG.
You are in the spotlight. This is Kristen, our chickenista.
Chicken pusher?
You're. We need to get a t-shirt that says chicken pusher. I think it'll be great. Your job is critical today because you are our chicken expert. And I already told our guest today that what I love about Kristen is you've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. This is a huge passion of yours.
Absolutely.
And
that's why I'm here.
You are an encyclopedia when it comes to chickens. But what I love is you keep it simple.
Yeah.
You don't try to overcomplicate it. And you really, of course, you're very well spoken and so smart, and you really make people feel safe and comfortable, right?
I hope so.
So I want to kind of hit on that safe and comfortable part. So today we are going to have Rachel Duffy and Sean Duffy. Rachel is the host of Fox and Friends Weekend, okay? And Sean Duffy does the Bottom Line on Fox Business. All right. So they're not going to be shy today, I'm sure. I can't wait to talk to them. This should be hopefully very natural to them. But we got a lot to talk about, a lot to unbox. But just to kind of set the stage a little bit, what I really love about this particular situation is this is another one of the situations we see all the time.
Right.
You have one person that wants the chickens, another person that's like, no. But as a good partner always does, a good spouse says, you know what? No matter how much this might scare me, or I think Nan used to tell me how disgusting this is, they're going to be there in support. And I was thinking about all this, that I wanted to, in this case, Rachel is very scared of chickens. And I can relate. And here's something I've never told you guys. And you're going to see where I'm going with this. I can relate. I try to be tough. I don't want to lose my man card. But truth be told, I've never told a single person this. I'm going to tell you guys now.
Ooh, confessions.
Kinda, yeah. So when I was a child, I was scared of the snakes. I stepped on a snake when I was a kid. I was like 2-3 years old, scared the crap out of me. And that just obviously did some severe damage, kinda. And years later, I was about 13 years old. A friend of mine at the time had a ball python. And he pulled that snake out and chased me around that house.
Yikes.
Scared
What a good friend.
the crap out of me. And I'm like nearly paralyzed in fear. And at some point later on, I said, you know what? I don't like that. I don't want to have that fear, right? What is a way to overcome that fear? And what I decided to do is go get snakes. But I had a strategy. And here's where this may tie in a little bit today, where I really want to help Rachel maybe get over the fear of chickens, is I started with the little tiny baby snake. Mm-hmm. She was so cute. Her name was Carmen. And I said, okay, I can do this. I was scared. In I'm telling you, I got pictures, little tiny snake. I had to hand feed the little snake, but the fear went away.
So she needs to start with tiny chickens.
Possibly. So that's
I love tiny chickens.
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about today. So we got a lot to get into. Let's go ahead, bring Rachel and Sean Duffy in.
Did you want to play that? Or no?
Now let's go ahead and skip because I really feel like it's not. We were going to play the audio from Fox and Friends. I'm worried YouTube's going to kind of shut it down because they get a little weird with the copyright. Okay. So go ahead and bring them in. We have Sean and Rachel Duffy. How are you doing today, guys?
All right, we'll have to scooch together.
We've been listening to you, and I think what I'm learning is if I get baby chicks and give them Latino names, I might not be scared of the chickens anymore. Carmen?
Absolutely. Great strategy.
That will absolutely work. Well, guys, listen, thank you so much for being here today. I know you guys are very busy. And as I was saying, thank you for getting a coop from us. We are so excited. And they've never had chickens before. So today is all about helping them figure out what is the best decision for them to get chickens. And then here's the other thing that makes this unique that Sean brought up, that is you answer it the best. It's, what is it, September 20th? Not quite fall. Fall's coming up, but it's fall time. And you can get baby chicks this time of year, but it can mean something. So I thought we would just go ahead and have that conversation.
Well, I want to know why. Why did you decide to have chickens? Because I love that question.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
John.
so listen, I am freaked out about where our food comes from. Okay, and so I've got bees. I have 3 hives of bees that I got 6 months ago, roughly 5 months ago. I started planting my own vegetables, but I do think to be closer to your food source is important. And so I was like, we should get chickens.
Well, because we get our eggs from a local farm down here, so we've been trying to eat clean, and it's been great having Sean, bring the garden and the bees, near the house. But he's been wanting chickens for a long time, and I've said no because I am deathly afraid of chickens. Always have been. Birds in general, but especially chickens and eagles. And
interesting.
Now, where did this come from?
The difference between eagles and chickens is I actually have a weird, strange love-hate fascination with eagles. But with chickens, I don't like chickens. I'm scared of them. I don't find them cute. I'm sorry. I know I'm on a chicken show, but I'm just going to be really honest with you. I don't find them cute. I find them creepy creatures. I don't want to hold one. I don't even want to be in the same room with one. I wish you could show that video from Fox and Friends. We had a face your fear, sort of running segment. I held snakes and scared the hell out of my co-hosts are afraid of snakes. And I could hold the snake and put the snake near me and thought it was really funny to put it near them. And then they surprised me one day with chickens on the set, and I lost my chicken shit. For real. I lost my shit. And I could not believe how scared I was. They brought the creepiest looking chickens on.
It was a Polish.
Yeah.
I climbed on the couches. I was trying to get away out of the set. Everyone thought it was hilarious, but I was genuinely petrified. And I do not want chickens in the house, and I was afraid of having them come. He's been working on me for over, 2 years. And then I remembered that your friend, Matt Skip Bedell, who comes on Fox and Friends, had brought on somebody who was doing rent-a-coops. And so I said, you know what? To satisfy Sean, we'll rent a coop. We'll rent a coop, and then if we don't like it, or I don't like it, it's gone. But then when I called Skip, which I shouldn't have done, Skip talked us all into chicken coops, and I went from rented chicken coop to like calling Matt and Sean ordering a coop, and so here we are. But the main selling factor, can I just say this really quick? The main selling factor was that Skip and Matt promised me that they would never leave the coop, that I could get a coop where the chickens would not go out and I would not walk into the backyard and accidentally run into them. So sorry, that's a long story, but I had to get it out.
So Kristen, we have a lot of kids. So we have 6 kids at home. We have 3 that are out of the house.
We have 9 total.
And when Rachel said, maybe we do a rent-a-coop,
yeah,
that was a crack that was needed.
Yeah.
And all the kids were like, we're going to get chickens. And when are we getting chickens? And how old are the chickens going to be? And when are they going to be here? And his mom said yes. And so it was.
And I kept saying, it's maybe.
Yeah. So then that has brought us to the place now that, you guys are building a coop for us, which, Matt has given us some great video of the process coming along, which is amazing, the facility you guys have.
Thank you.
But so Kristen, the question we have is, what now? We have a coop coming. Do we get baby chicks right now, which we raise and are part of our family that Rachel becomes accustomed to, like the baby snake?
Their family.
Or do we wait until the spring? Or do we get older hens? Do we get some eggs right now and get some joy out of the coop? What advice do you have for us in what we should do, because we're in the fall of the year?
I think everybody should raise baby chicks once, and the best time is when you have a brand new coop. I mean, that's my advice, especially if you have kids, because it is such an experience and they're so cute. And this time of year is an okay time to get chicks, because one reason why is because the demand is lower. So the availability of the variety that you may want is much more likely. And I do recommend to get a variety of chicks. I like to have one of each.
Yeah, so the thing...
Creepy looking chick, like that grows into a chicken, like a full grown. What is the least creepy looking chicken that you could get?
I think the Americana is a good choice because they lay the blue-green eggs. Oh yes, I have my egg basket. So they lay, you can't really see, but it's a green egg. So they lay blue-green eggs, and they don't have a large comb. The comb is the big red thing on top of their head. And people who have a fear of chickens, usually it's because some rooster at some point attacked them. I mean, that's what I was trying to get at. And the Americana, is that what happened?
It's like a standard-looking chicken, right? It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a beautiful chicken.
Yeah, but the Americana doesn't have a large comb, and it has puffy cheeks and a beard and dark legs. So I think it looks a little more friendly.
More like an eagle?
Oh, it does actually look more like an eagle.
No, it doesn't look like an eagle.
No, it doesn't look so.
Well, maybe like a hawk.
Do you actually, like Skip, have your chickens in your house? Because Skip Bedell actually watches TV with his chickens. I've seen pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is it doesn't have to come in your house. You don't have to hold it. So these are things that your kids will probably bring them in.
My personal advice, and what I want to do is give you all the options and help you guys make the best decision. But by raising the baby chicks, they grow up with you. They're going to be so much more attached to you. And plus, I think it will absolutely get you over the fear of chickens. And it's such a great experience, especially with the children that you have. And again, this is where it changed for me. I mean, I got to incubate them. But what you can do, and I want to share with you guys, is a lot of people don't realize you can do 2 things. You can go find a local place that sells baby chicks, which can be a little hard this time of year. It's usually springtime.
Depends on where they live.
Right. And then you can support local business, and I wanted to let you know that today I want to share a hatchery that we absolutely love called Meyer Hatchery. And they actually are giving a promo for all our viewers today. And I wanted to show you guys a website by Meyer Hatchery that you can actually go onto and help kind of guide you through the process of actually buying baby chicks.
Yeah, are you scared right now? Look at that.
It's when I look at their feet, I just can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, so that's another.
She needs booted feet.
So you want booted? You want booted chickens?
And the Americana it has dark legs. So that I don't know if that helps, but there's also chickens that have feathered feet, where their feet are totally hidden by feathers. So, and also Meyer Hatchery has an overstock sale every Monday. You sign up for their email and they send out an email, or you just go on here and sort by available today, and you get the overstock sale every Monday. And they've got great breeds.
Yeah, so here's the advantage. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just really quick, are there certain breeds that are more aggressive or less aggressive?
Well, right now I'm on the friendliest breed page. For
I found that there's only one breed that's bred for fighting, but every breed that you're going to find on this website is going to be friendly if you raise them. It matters more how you raise them and your interactions with them, but none of them are going to be aggressive. None of these hens are going to be aggressive.
It's all about, and here's another advantage by raising them.
Right.
It's all about how you raise them. Don't, as you're doing your research, and if you go online to order them from a hatchery like Meyer Hatchery, don't get hung up too much on, like, okay, these are the friendly breeds. These are the, the good egg-laying breeds. So much of that, again, is how you raise them and the environment that they're in and the time of year as far as egg production.
Okay,
so
go ahead, Matt.
Well, so here's what I was going to say is I always want to make sure our customers know, I want you guys to know that there's not just a white chicken like Foghorn Leghorn on the cartoon we were growing up. Boy, I say boy. And, you got the brown chicken that a lot of people see. There are beautiful chickens. Yeah. My personal favorite, and you have to go back, we've done great shows where I've done my top 25 breeds, and I explain why.
Why stop at 25?
You chicken pusher. You, Kristen and Ingrid did a top 10 groups of chickens. All right.
Starter flock. We did a starter flock.
And Rachel, you mentioned you don't like the legs. I'll be honest with you. I'm not big on the legs either, which brings me up to one.
I don't like the big yellow legs.
There's one breed I'm going to tell you here in a little bit. Definitely do not get no matter what. Okay. And especially when it comes to children, they love this breed. You do not want to get it. If you
Just get one.
No, and if you don't like the legs, they have an extra toe. Oh, so ugly. There is a breed of chicken that is booted. There's actually many breeds of chickens that are booted. And what that means is there's feathers that cover their feet. So you don't have to see them. They look like snowshoes. And my favorite is a silver lace cochin. And they're black and white. And we can probably bring it up. They probably have an example on Meyer Hatchery. And they're booted. Their feathers just cover their feet. And that's also great in a northern environment so that we prevent, frostbite on their feet, right? Mm-hmm. But in general, you really kind of ask yourself, what is it you're attracted to? It's just like maybe a car, maybe a painting, that there are so many different breeds. And there are even breeds that'll be, have spots, and each year they molt, they'll get more spots, and they could just be absolutely beautiful. Now, here's the other advantage to going on a website and ordering baby chicks is, depending on the timing, depending on what they're hatching, you can really get close to your wish list. So we'll have to look at the what are those, the bantams there?
I'm not sharing it. Hang on.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and share it. I want them to see what we mean by booted. The Brahmas. So you can see where they got feather.
I see that.
Yeah, the feathers on their feet, like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. All those feathers, and they're just fat and fluffy. Or that might gross you out. I don't know. I bet you there's some people that don't like that.
I thought I might like this better. I'm not sure, Matt.
So can I ask you a question?
Please.
So she's gonna. I do think.
I love that.
I know. I've been married to her for 25 years. I take what she's saying right now. I do think she's gonna grow into acceptance, maybe even love. Reject that right now. But so is it a problem to have all these different breeds of chickens? If I have one of this kind,
yeah.
Can I put them all together? Question. And so there's that question. And then do I need a rooster as well?
You don't need a rooster, and with her chicken phobia, I definitely would not recommend a rooster. I actually don't recommend a rooster to anybody, and absolutely they would get along. The chickens that you raise together, they're not even going to notice they're different. They're colorblind, really, as far as it comes to who they're raised with. And Yeah, there's no racism amongst chickens, but the ones that are raised together are they never forget who their siblings are, which is really a cool thing. I've raised generations and generations of chickens, and even today, the flock from 2022 is here, and they spend all day together. And the next year is here. I mean, they all go in the same place to sleep at night, but they never forget who their siblings are.
It's
and it's a
fascinating.
really, really beautiful thing. However, like a mother raising baby chicks, she totally forgets and won't acknowledge her own offspring at 7 weeks. 7 or 8 weeks. She's just like, okay, I'm done. I forget you.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted to talk about that, because another question you may have is, Matt, what do I do when I want to add more baby chicks or chickens to our flock? There's a right way and a wrong way. There's a complicated way, a scary way. So we definitely got to talk about that, especially if you have children. There is such a fun way to safely and without a lot of fighting add chickens to your flock, and the kids will absolutely love it. The other thing I wanted to mention is, as you're shopping around, and there's also great magazines and books you can get to learn about the different breeds, and that's usually where people start. Like, they love the black and white feathers, they love them that they're booted. But here's what I also wanted to show you guys. We're running a green screen, so you can't really see how green this egg is, which is why it looks white. But what will happen is, and here's the message, you mentioned earlier about getting closer to our food, finding out what's going on. We here in the western part of the world, especially here in the United States, we screw everything up. We really do. And I'm going to make some of our viewers mad, but hear me out for a second. We grew up only knowing, at least I did, you only get white eggs. That's not true. And we think white because we think cleaner. And then what happens is, in order for the eggs to be very affordable and consistent, we have to mass produce them. But to mass produce them, conditions aren't that pretty, so the eggs get dirty. So what happens is, they go through this wash and they remove that bloom on the outside of the egg that the chicken provides to protect it. So now they have to be refrigerated. When you go out to your backyard flock and you go to collect your eggs with your children, you're going to love this. All right.
Or make them do it.
Or make them do it.
So you don't have to go near them.
You're going to collect the eggs. This is that fruit basket I was telling you about. We have these dark, beautiful brown eggs. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then you got these speckled eggs that, hopefully you can see that with the nice camera shot. And of course, you got your regular brown eggs. You got different sizes. That's okay. We have gotten here, especially again in the United States, that if our food doesn't look perfect, we reject it. And that ultimately is one of the reasons what's killing us, because we got this mindset that if it doesn't look good, it's not good for us. And that's so not true.
I also should mention that the different egg colors come from different breeds. So it's not the color of the bird, it's a specific breed. Or a mix of breeds that will determine the egg color.
And that's why it's so nice to mix it up. Get one of each.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. That was the point I was trying to get to, is that after you pick out your favorite breeds, like the Silver Lace Cochins and your Brahmas, your Buff Orpingtons, which are always known as the nicest chickens.
Yeah, they're like the golden retriever of chickens.
Right. Then you start realizing, I want that dark chocolate colored egg, the French copper Marans. So it becomes a conversation piece. You put this on your kitchen counter, on your dining room table, but you will not believe how good that fresh egg is going to taste. The satisfaction you get, just like gardening, it's magical.
Why are all the eggs white in our grocery stores? So they're only using one specific breed?
Yes, that's the Leghorn, because it has a very small body size for the egg production. It has very high egg production and a small body size, and that makes the feed to egg ratio most advantageous. So it's a money situation. I mean, it's profit.
Of course.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention is you don't have to refrigerate the eggs. It's actually not good to refrigerate the eggs, especially if, and they do this in commercial kitchens, they have those huge flats of refrigerated eggs and they bring them right out by the grill. Bacteria will grow so fast and that bloom's gone. All right, so now you got the condensation that's warming up because you got the cold egg that meets the hot air. It's just not very healthy, where we don't need to overcomplicate it. Let's simplify it. You just put the eggs right in a basket. It's just like that beautiful fruit basket, right? And just a great conversational piece. And again, just to recap, again, what Ingrid said is so true. You can start picking breeds that you may not be like, I would never have picked that, but boy, that is a beautiful egg.
Okay, so let's talk about if we get chicks now, right? We sit down, we research what kind of eggs we want, how nice are they, booted feet, non-booted feet. How do we put them in our house? Do we have to? I mean, they can't be outside. It's going to get cold. Like, what's the process for smartly and lovingly raising these little chicks to get them to a place where I can put them in the coop? And how long does it have to be between when I get them to when I get them in the coop? So, which means how long they're going to be in my house? Like, what? Talk me through that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first question is, when are you going to get your coop?
Well, they're getting their coop in the next couple weeks.
Okay, great.
So
well, let's go online today and buy some.
They have the ability to start their flock this fall.
Good. Let's do it.
But yeah, run us through the brooding process, if you will.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to get those chicks as soon as possible. Probably Monday's shipment. You'll have the chicks by Wednesday, and I would keep them in your house for a week.
Oh, come on.
A week?
A week.
You know, it's not a problem. We got a place upstairs. That's not going to be a problem.
I'll keep them in the basement.
So, how do I contain them? Are they like in a box, or are they like what?
Yeah, I like to use either a bin, a flat bottom bin, or what size coop are they getting? Let's talk about
they
numbers,
are getting
too.
a Carolina Coop.
Uh-huh.
It is a 6x8 hen house with an 8x18 foot long run. Yes.
Wow. You got room to grow. Okay, so let's start with like 7 to 10 chicks, I think. And you get just a plastic bin, and there's a couple accessories that you'll want with that. But I like to have, or you can use like a wire cage, like a guinea pig cage, like one of those with the plastic bottom. So one of these is really cool to use during the day. For the first week. So you can watch them. You can look for any signs of illness or any issues. And then around week 2, you can put them in the chicken coop.
Now, see, you're contradicting yourself because you would always argue.
I'm compromising.
Because you always argue with me about this. Because typically what people do is when they get their baby chicks, they're a day old, maybe 2 days old.
Yeah.
You either get them through the mail in the post office. The post office will call you, like, get to your baby chicks. You hear them chirping in the background, like it's so much fun. And then you bring them home. And the whole idea, what you have to understand is what the mama hen would normally do is keep them warm by sitting on them. Mm-hmm. If you're going to buy day-old baby chicks, you are now the mama hen. And in order to keep them warm, because they can't keep their temperature consistent because they don't have the feathers, they're just covered in down, that's where you have to provide some type of heat source. And there's really good ways to do that, like heat plates that I recommend, so they're very safe. The old school way is the big infrared heat lamp bulbs.
Or any incandescent, but we can't find those anymore.
What about a heater?
Yeah, that's a heater might be too difficult to keep control of it. So basically, in a nutshell, I recommend, and I'll share this with you guys later, is a heat plate that are made for doing exactly this. They're made for baby chicks. And what happens is the baby chick will go underneath there just like they would instinctively go underneath their mama, the mama hen, to stay warm. And you put that off to the side of the brooder, all right? And then on the opposite side of the brooder, you're going to place the food and water. And it's just a little chick feed dish, okay?
Right. Yeah.
And it's a little water dish. And you're going to monitor them. Believe it or not, just like having babies, you're going to tell if something is wrong by the way they chirp. You almost hear this loud screaming chirp. Or if they're just doing that little, chirp.
Happy chirp.
The happy chirp, they're good. And they should just kind of be going around the brooder, going back and forth and defecating, quite a bit. And that just tells you things are going well. But here's what you have to be mindful of, is they grow fast. And typically, and here's where I can't believe Kristen contradicted herself, where she always argues with me on this, is 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, they will be fully feathered, have all their adult feathers, which means now they are ready to go out into their chicken coop where they don't need that heat source. So that's really what you're looking for. Now, I have always said...
Wait a minute. Okay, so if they're not doing well, if there's one that's sick or not healthy, it chirps in a way that you can tell is different from the others. And then what do you do with that chick?
Well, we can have a conversation about that. Like, it's not actually that common, but you just want to observe them and make sure that they have access to the food and water, that the water didn't turn over, or, that the light didn't turn off or the heat. You just want to just make sure everything's working. They're using the water.
Here's what typically happens is you get that one spunky one, just like our children. There's always that rebel child, right? And that baby chick will jump out of the brooder. All of a sudden, that baby chick's alone and going, oh, that was a bad decision. You hear that loud chirp. You're like, something's wrong. It's usually they hopped out. You just put them right back in there. They're good. Now, there's another thing to monitor, which is called pasty butt. All right. And that just means if they're going through an extreme, typically if it's hot and cold, if that brooder's not set up right, they can be prone to pasty butt. And if you don't clean that off, it can eventually kill them. Now, let me explain something. Raising baby chicks and having chickens, if you have the right brooder set up and you're going to have the right coop set up, it is extremely easy. Do not overthink it. The people that actually have the most problems are the people that overthink it.
Okay. Do you guys have a checklist on your website? I mean, listen, you guys' website has like all this information. But is there a spot there or a place we can go to say, okay, you need this, and this to make sure your little baby chicks are going to survive? Boom, boom, boom. Like what?
We have a video for that. I don't know if do you have that, Ingrid, on the blog?
No,
vlog? It's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Well, I'll send you one with links to Amazon.
Yeah, we'll send you because a lot
or
of
buy local.
Yeah.
We have the products we love that are the things for starting. We've had shows on it, but I haven't. That's a very good. We have like the first aid kit that you need and all that kind of stuff. But that's a good idea, and I'll work on that.
Yeah, we got a great video where Kristen and I actually built a brooder. You don't have to build a brooder like this, but pay attention to the do's and don'ts. We're always trying to explain. Here's what you got to think of, but don't overcomplicate it. So, and then if you do the baby chicks for the first week, yes, you can put them out in the hen house. I typically like to tell people, depending on where they live and the time of year, actually just go ahead and, oh, Sean's going to get mad at me for this, but use your hen house as the brooder, all right, where you don't have to have them inside at all. Now, with the children and you really want to make sure that they get used to you, it's always a lot of fun to do it inside. And that's what Kristen's always an advocate of. She's like, no, keep them inside so that you can handle them and they get really used to you.
But they do get dusty after a while. So that's why I'm like, okay, maybe at week 2.
And they grow up fast, but you can
move them out.
You can use your hen house as the brooder. And what I like about that is there is no transition period from the brooder to the hen house. That's all they ever know is that hen house. But you have to, and this is the only time you would ever use food and water in the hen house and have some type of heat source like the brooder. But
I mean, just to be clear, like 2 weeks inside and then the rest of their brooding time, like up to 7 weeks in the hen house itself, not in the run.
Yeah, not in the run.
So using the hen house as a brooder, since you have your coop coming.
Yep. So then you do 5 weeks in there.
Yep.
Another 5 weeks in the hen house, and then you pull the brooder out and the water out.
Yep.
And now they use the whole thing. So then I have to imagine you feed them different food as chicks than you do as adult chickens. So the food is different. The water feeders are different. Okay. So we'll figure that out. So Kristen, your advice is, you got a coop coming. You should be looking at chicks this weekend. Monday, let's order up. Let's get them here and start loving on them.
Right. And I would go ahead and see, like, I maybe not even pick out your wish list quite yet. Let's see what's available on Monday and order from that list.
And
so
make
Monday,
it
available.
Right.
And make it a family experience. The children will love this. It's so educational. And again, I'll never forget when I first got in the backyard chickens. I love the eggs. I love eating eggs. I had no idea how many different chickens there are out there and just how beautiful they can be. And again, the different colored eggs that you can get. Let's talk about it's fall time. Talk to us about the pros and cons there. What are some things we should think about? Should we order them in the fall? What does that mean? You always talk about how that might not mean they'll start laying to a certain time because typically they start laying about 21 weeks, right? But that can change depending on when you start them in the year. Our advice typically is start it in spring because that's what's more natural, right? Especially if you're going to move them out to the coop. Mm-hmm. But you can definitely do it in the fall time. So talk us through that so that we can make a decision what's going to work best.
Right. The downside from doing it in the fall is the days are starting to get shorter. So the chickens for proper growth, for baby chicks for proper growth, they need to have longer days. So that's why it's more natural to do it in the spring because the days are getting longer. and they have plenty of time to eat. But if you use lights, we can counteract that negative. We can solve that problem. So you'll be using lights to make sure that they have enough daylight to eat, to grow big and strong.
Okay, so
You
then
mean
what?
In the coop, there will be lights.
Yeah, you will put lights in there.
In the brooder.
Or a light, just a LED light to make sure that they have enough daylight.
Right, because if it gets dark, they don't know to wake up and eat. So we got to pretend it's summertime with our light, and you just put it on a timer.
Or you can have it on all the time.
Really? I didn't know that. 24 hours?
Yeah, you can.
Isn't that torture?
No.
No?
No, you know baby chicks, they're just running and playing, and all of a sudden they're all asleep,
Their eyes will shut, and they'll start leaning forward and going back. It's so funny.
Yeah, they don't care.
Any other advice? So here is my baby.
Oh.
And he's a good dog, but I imagine that dogs and chickens don't necessarily get along that well. Is there any advice you have to acclimate?
He chases anything he sees. Squirrels.
Acclimate.
Yeah. That's another issue, by the way.
How do we acclimate animals in the house? Or is there like, no, there's that doesn't work?
Dogs can be totally unpredictable, and I can't say that any particular breed does well or doesn't, or not knowing your dog. I would never ever say that dog's going to be fine, that dog's going to be trouble.
If they have a high prey drive or chase drive,
yeah,
and
most dogs do.
Yeah, and I mean they're natural predators, and chicken are natural prey. So, I mean some dogs are fine. My dogs weren't. One of my dogs wasn't. So I have my coop on the side of the house, so they didn't have access to it. And she doesn't react as much now because I've given her positive reinforcement. Like I'd bring her there between a fence, feed her treats. But honestly, if one chicken got in the backyard somehow, I wouldn't think that chicken would make it. That's me personally and my dogs. So a lot of our customers have dogs and they're fine.
Yes.
But you do have to be aware that a dog is going to be dog.
Yeah.
If they have, especially terriers, they have a very high prey and chase drive of things. Sometimes just like to chase moving things, which could be just not great for the chickens. So
yep, it's that fast movement. So we have.
But the point of the Carolina Coop is these. I mean, other than this period that they're in our basement and getting a little older,
or the dining room.
No.
Why'd you do that, Kristen?
We're getting a Carolina Coop specifically because no predators can get in, because Rachel won't have to ever see them in the backyard.
Yeah, she doesn't want free range.
Yeah, then that's completely fine.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of the style of our coop, even though I am a huge fan of free ranging. And I will say this now, I'm not sure when it's going to happen. Everyone ends up free ranging, but just give it time. The nice thing, and we're going to go over all this again, especially when we show up on site, is there's reasons why we do everything we do with our coop, especially having that attached run, having the dividers that are removable in the nest box. So when you do go to say, you know what? Chicken math's kicking in. Matt's right. I want some of those copper marans. I want some of those silver lace cochins. And you're like, you know what? I would love to go get some fertile eggs. And I got a hen that went broody, which means, these certain hormones are kicking in saying, I need to be a mama hen. So you go get those fertile eggs and put them underneath her. She will do everything now. She will incubate those eggs. She'll make sure when they hatch that they stay warm. Rachel.
I know that he's talking about the second generation.
Yes.
So.
When you go to add to your chickens and then you remove the divider and that becomes a little nursery. So there's so much we do that a lot of people don't realize right away about our chicken coops. And again, we'll go over all that. But yes, like we were going back to the dog, and I'm a huge dog lover, and we have a video on this talking about how to acclimate your your dog to your chickens. Like Kristen said, dogs are very unpredictable, especially terriers or dogs. That's not their fault. We bred them to be a certain thing. It's an instinct, and a lot of times it's that fast movement to trigger them. However, I see our viewers right now are commenting in saying, yes, I've been able to train my dog to actually protect my chickens, to be happy around my chickens, but just give it time. Test it, and I think another reason why raising the baby chicks in your dining room, when you said, I think his name was Skippy, when Skippy comes around and he just starts to get used to them, I think you might have a very good chance.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. So you talked about free range, right? So Rachel has some furniture outside her house. You mentioned at one point, Matt, that if you let them free range, they love that furniture outside, and you might find some debris on your furniture that's unwelcome, outside furniture. So that's that. I would love to free range these chickens. I'd love to do that, but I know I'm gonna have problems if they're gonna poop on her outside furniture.
Right.
And so, is it possible to say you get a free range for say 8 months a year? The 4 months that we have the stuff outside and we're using that space, you're back in the coop. How does that work? Are you like, nope, you got a free range, or you just got to, keep them in the coop, pick one or the other, or can you actually do that?
You can do that. You can, but once they get the taste of freedom, it's hard. They do pace and, drag their beak along the wire, like a spoon against the rail.
Like a prisoner in a cell. Like, get me out of here.
I'm exaggerating a little, but they do want to get out. But
So you used to say all the time, you know what, a little bit of free ranging, even in the afternoon. You tell your automatic door to come up at 3 p.m. and then they're out a little bit, and then
I like that compromise for the people that are reluctant. Just to let them free range an hour before sunset, because they go in by themselves at sunset. So it gives them just
and risk them getting eaten by we have foxes. We're in the country here. Yeah. There's foxes and raccoons and
you don't have to.
The other option is what I did.
It's like why you would even do that,
because if they have an hour to run around and eat bugs, that's beneficial for them and for you. And they also eat weeds and things that are going to make their eggs more nutritious and the yolks more vibrant. So it's healthy for them, and it's also fun actually to observe them. It's a very grounding and connection to nature. And then you observe their personalities, like who's friends with who, like who's the loner, who's the friendly one.
Here's what you...
And especially if you have a wooded area.
Why don't we feed them worms?
You can. So I like to keep things simple. And one of the things I've always learned is by letting them free range, no matter how big your run is, now you don't do anything. The chickens just know where to go get bugs, get scraps, go take a dust bath, things like that. But that's kind of how our chickens are the way they are now, because that was back when you lived on a farm out in the country. You can just let your chickens go everywhere. That was normal. But then, fast forward to today where a lot of people are getting chickens in the backyard and they can't let them free range. So that's now why you see all the runs attached. But it's kind of, you got to figure out what's going to work best for you. You don't have to let them free range at all. However, if you don't let them free range, you got to understand that run is their outdoor space. So they got to not only have the forest floor, which is a question we get all the time, Matt, what do we put inside the run? You got to make sure the chickens have what's natural to them. They're a natural woodland animal. They want to scratch and work. You got to make sure the chickens don't ever get bored. And as you're doing your research online, and I always tell people, do your research, but I'm going to always explain why we have our opinion. One of the big ones right now is put sand in the run. You never want to put sand in your run, but you'll see so many people swear by it because apparently they have all the time in the world to go out every week and clean all the chicken manure.
Like a kitty litter box.
Yes, that's ridiculous. And that's not what the chickens want. That's not what's going to make them happy. They want that forest floor. They want like something almost as if you would grow vegetables in it. Now, also, if they're not able to free range, you got to make sure they have access to little tiny rocks. I think that's...
They find them,
great.
Not if you're on a concrete slab like some people have done. They have to have those little tiny rocks that we call grit or chicken teeth. All right? Mm-hmm. And what happens is they must swallow those rocks and they go down into their gizzard. That sounds good. I haven't had gizzards in a while. And that's what they use to crush that food up. All right. So you got to make sure if you're not going to free range, be mindful of these things. And also when they're dealing with ectoparasitic insects and bugs, they want to take a dust bath. That dust that they're going to kind of spread all over their wings and they're going to shake it out. You're like, what in the world? Why are you getting dirty? That's actually their way of using the sand as a desiccant to kill up any bugs that might be on the outside of them. I'm trying not to gross out Rachel. Rachel's trying to...
Yes, I see the frown. But they do all that themselves. So that's the nice thing is you don't have to do anything. And they don't want hugs and stuff. So that's a good thing too.
I also start...
Do you eat chicken?
What?
Do you eat chicken?
Yeah.
You
just
do?
not...
Mm-hmm. So even as friendly and pet-like that you guys are... You still eat them.
Yeah, they're a great dual-purpose bird.
Oh, yeah. Love chicken.
Dual-purpose, yeah.
I don't eat my chickens, but I was the same way, Rachel. I started out just keeping them in the coop, and then I gave them a little bit more area, and I was like, well, this isn't safe. So I added a larger fence, an 8-foot fence, and I had cabling and chicken poultry netting over to keep the hawks, because we live right by a park, and the hawks are, a killer too. So I gave them that area, and then little by little, I've given them more area. But I'm a big gardener, so I don't want them in my garden beds, because they'll
scratch
destroy, they'll dig up everything. So I have designated areas. So I started the same way, just kept them in a small, in their coop, and then gave them a little bit more room. And it, so you can do things that still look really nice. Matt did a great the whole aerial enclosure on a property.
Avian armor. Yep.
Yes. And
gotta have a name for everything. So here's what to expect.
Yeah, so that's a nice other compromise.
Yes.
Is making a chicken yard or an enclosed area around the chicken coop, so that they have an extended area to go out into.
A chicken yard. So here's what you want to prepare yourself for, is that you will end up wanting to let them out, and there's easy ways to contain them so they don't invade your pool furniture and have problems there.
Is that like an electric fence?
You could do that.
But how do you contain them in a larger space? What do you guys recommend?
Another fence.
Yeah.
I have another. I have like a wooden and wire fence.
Right.
And it's built up, and like I said, I did cabling like a circus tent, just to hold up the poultry netting so it's nice and taut. And people don't even notice the poultry netting.
There is one other technique that I love. It's not very practical, but it's hilarious, and it will work. And this is something Kristen taught me years ago when we were doing a coop in Florida. And the customer also had goats, and the goats kept getting up on her pool and in her back porch, right? So you tell her, like, oh, just get these motion sensor sprinklers, and when the goats come by, they'll get sprayed by the sprinkler, and the goats will run away, right? Well, somehow those sprinklers were there the next day, and the customer hooked them up. And sure enough, when a goat would walk by, the goat would get sprayed with the sprinkler, so they stopped going up on the porch. Well, while we are doing the chicken coop, we kept forgetting those sprinklers were there, so we're going from the coop to the trail, and we kept getting sprayed. And the next thing you know, you hear someone yelling, but you can potentially do the
screamed
same.
like a little girl.
No, I did not. Thank you. It was cold. It was some cold. I was in the pool. All right. So it can work for your chickens as well. So it's not something as...
It does work for chickens. And then they've got little brains, so they forget when you take it away. I mean, you can take it away, and they don't know any better.
We're talking about the fear I've had. It's not just that I think chickens look creepy, but people that I've known that have, and I know lots of people that have chicken coops. I mean, this is really, you guys are on trend. I mean, everybody wants a chicken coop. Everybody wants fresh eggs. But I would say 2/3 of the people I know have had basically a slaughterhouse, like a raccoon.
Oh, we lost your audio. Oh, did you get muted? What happened? Oh, we lost her.
I didn't mute.
I lost her at raccoon. Oh, what's going on?
What?
Not sure. Oh, you're back now. Not sure what happened there.
Are we back? Are we back?
Yeah,
I saw some fireworks. Okay, so virtually 2/3 of the people I know that have chicken coops have had raccoons or wolves or some other predator decimate their flock of chickens. And just the thought of that, I can't. So I'm just kind of curious, like, about this, again, reiterating, you're letting them out, you're actually exposing them to the potential predators. What are the chances that a predator could come in?
Can I just you guys see, she already loves the chickens. Right now, she hates them. I don't want them, but there's already this love and affection.
I don't like blood and guts. I don't want
she's mama birding these little chicks.
Yeah, she's coming around already.
Yeah, so I see some progress. So here's what I tell people is predation is real. There's different levels of predator pressure, and I would always live my life at risk for freedom than I would contained and with the idea that I'm safe, but not living the best life, if you will. Here's a nice thing about our coops. And they are built so well that the chances of a predator ever getting to your coop is next to zero. Okay.
Right.
Knock on wood, we have not had it happen unless someone left a door open or did something wrong when they're constructing their chicken coop.
Right. And most of these predators are at night.
Yes.
So they're secure at night. They're in the coop. That's where most of your friends that have chickens have lost them. Raccoons don't come out during the day, right? They're finding a way in at night.
Right. So the predator pressure during the daytime isn't as high as you may think based on those horror stories you hear. But your coop is on guard every night. And that's why it's so important. Your chickens go back into that coop and you either shut the door or you have an automatic door and they're safe. It's just that simple. But your daytime is usually your dog or your neighborhood dog. But hawks can be a problem. And then also when we're going back to, picking what breeds should we get, a lot of times I like to tell people if you have a high predator pressure level like hawks and you want to let them free range, get some big fat chickens. It's going to be a lot harder for them to be picked off. But also those chickens know when there's a predator nearby. Mm-hmm. They're going to know way before you do, and they're going to go running underneath plants and bushes that I've seen you already have. And you can also do some coopscaping and plant some things so you can increase their chances of hiding. But
they have great instincts.
They
Trust
do.
their instincts.
Please keep in mind, and this is just, you're going to be farming, and you have always a potential. When you have livestock, you can have dead stock. Things do happen. All you have to do is make sure you did everything you could in your power to protect those hens. It's not fun to lose them. You're going to raise them. You're going to have a lot of time invested in them. Yeah. And then you got to wait, 21 weeks before you get those eggs. But you're going to slowly progress like everyone does. And the other thing is we're always here. So a time I predict probably in about a year, Sean, you're going to call and be like, Matt, okay, we're ready to do, what was that? The avian armor. Yeah, we can come out and do that. You can have a fence put in. And then there's a conversation of, okay, how high should that fence be? That's going to be based on if you clip the wings, but don't overthink it. You're getting a really nice coop. You're getting a big giant run. But what we have to think about too is when that chicken math kicks in.
How big's the run?
18 foot, but with a 6x18. So they got, what's that, 24? 3 times 8, 24? Do I got that math right? I'm horrible at math. 3 8-foot roost bars.
Right, but if they're not free ranging, you have to think of the size of the run.
Right, so when they do start to free range, then they can go up to 24 chickens. And there's where you get your 5 dozen of a week of eggs.
I can also tell you I've had chickens for 7 years since I got my American coop. And I've had different generations. I have 2 from my original flock that are both 7 years old, and I've never lost one to a predator. And so even when they're not protected, they hear the hawk, they know, they run in. They run to the coop. They run where they know they're safe, or they'll stay very still underneath a large bush or something. They're very good, and they teach the other ones.
Having places to hide is really important.
So you don't need a rooster to take care of the hens if you free range. The hens can be up by themselves. No rooster needed.
Yeah. And I haven't lost one to a hawk in years, and mine free range 100% of the time.
Yeah, you don't want a rooster at all.
So why do people do it?
People have roosters?
Yeah.
They're pretty. They want.
They might accidentally get a rooster, and then they've bonded to it, or they say, "Oh, he's so pretty and he's so nice. I'm gonna."
I think a lot of people think you're supposed to have a rooster, and you don't. You don't want a rooster because they are so stressful to the females. A rooster has
not in a small flock, not in an outdoor backyard flock.
Free ranging with a lot of hens, but it still can be stressful.
But typical backyard flock, you only have 6 to 10 hens.
Right. Yeah. Not nearly.
That's not enough hens for a rooster.
And then of course
you have
there's
to
always
spread the love.
Yeah. And there's always that one unicorn that just gets tormented. He'll dig his spurs in. The feathers are gone. It's not fun to have a rooster. But what you have to understand though, because maybe you want to get a rooster, what you have to understand their job is 2 things: mate and protect. That's it. And they will, if they're part of that flock, they will do their job and protect them, but it's not guaranteed. For me, the stress on the hens and the noise and the possible aggression is definitely not worth it.
And they don't lay eggs.
Yeah.
So you're feeding a bird that doesn't even produce.
Yeah.
So you say no, don't get a rooster.
Don't. And it makes everything more difficult for the rest of us backyard chicken enthusiasts, because it kind of gives us a bad name, sort of. So if somebody in my neighborhood has a a flock with a rooster, people are getting upset. And then they look to me like, oh, we have to get rid of Kristen's chickens, because they're noisy.
Here goes hashtag Down with Dale with her HOA
no,
situation.
There's somebody else with chickens that are noisy.
Right. Now, so here's the other thing we didn't mention is one of the advantages by ordering your baby chicks online or going to a local store, believe it or not, they're sexed. And there's like a 99% accuracy where you're getting just females. But the one thing I do want to mention before I forget, I know we're coming up to the top of the hour, and thank you so much for your time. And of course, we're here for you guys. Any questions you have, ask away. No matter what, my greatest advice when picking out your chickens, do not get silkies. No matter what.
Get one.
No.
One.
People.
These are the ones from China, right? Are
What's
these
that?
Chinese chickens?
Yeah,
Silkies?
yeah. Yeah, they're the ones that have a rabbit fur instead of feathers, essentially.
They look like a Muppet.
They're so dumb. They will run into a tree and sit down and wait for that tree to move. They make keeping chickens so complicated. Here's where people will hate me.
Those are show silkies.
Oh, gosh. So now
Hatchery silkies have some brains.
They make things so complicated. The complaints that people give us when they don't listen to us, because you remember that meme with the outhouses? You got two outhouses stacked on top of each other, and you got management. Oh my God, let's share it. I think we got it. You got the outhouse up top with the management, and then you got the employees down below. That's what happens to silkies. Your chickens go up into the hen house at night. They're sitting on the roost bars, and they're going to defecate at night. The silkies, because they don't have feathers and not very bright, they can't get up on the roost bars, so they sit below like they're in the bottom of the outhouse getting crapped on. So they're going to get all dirty, and just they can't see because their eyes are covered with, and it's not even feathers. Yeah, it's like fur.
Kids like them because you can sneak up on them and pick them up.
They're cute.
Mm-hmm.
No, and they got that extra toe. If you don't like legs, Google silky legs.
I'm not into this Chinese 5-toed chicken.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
and they're easy prey too. So
good point.
we're going to explore what chickens to get. If you guys send us the video of what we need to get with maybe recommendations, that would be awesome. And then we're going to document this for all your viewers. We're going to document our process. When you come with the coop, putting it in, us getting the chickens, this whole Carolina Coop exploration process of backyard chickens, which, is wildly exciting for almost every single person in the house but one. We're thrilled. And again, we have to wait 21, 22 weeks before we start getting some eggs. Is that right?
Yes.
Even if they get fall baby chicks.
Well, they'll start laying in the spring, early spring, I believe.
So what happens?
How many months is that?
Help me out, because you say
October,
if you
November,
get,
December.
you always say if you
February.
If you get baby chicks,
You'll have eggs by February.
What happens if you get baby chicks a certain time of year where you say it takes longer before
if you
they
get
start?
them like in June, because they're going to be mature right in the middle of the winter.
Right. So this is actually preferable than June.
Okay. Okay. So we do got that going for us.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I was hoping we were going to get more into the specific breeds and show the Meyer hatchery.
I'm available Monday if you'd like to do the chicken selection.
What time do we have to order on Monday by? Is like when we know what breeds are there? Is like by 10 o'clock on Monday?
I think they release the list around 9 or 10 Eastern, and we should jump on it.
And also, I do want to say something. There's a lot of different hatcheries, and we've interviewed a lot of different hatcheries. We've bought a lot of baby chicks from different hatcheries, and they're all great
They are
people, great companies. One in particular, Meyer Hatchery, we absolutely love them because one of the things, and I'm huge on customer service, if you look at the reviews and talk to other people that bought from them, the customer service from Meyer Hatchery is just phenomenal. And what they did for us today is I asked them, I said, do you mind if I mention Meyer Hatchery? And they said, absolutely. So if you're listening right now, this is unbelievable what they're offering for people to get baby chicks for the next calendar year. You ready for this? 10% off your order for the next calendar year if you go to Meyer Hatchery and just put in the promo code Carolina24. That is so extremely generous.
Yes, it is.
And I love all the hatcheries we buy from, but just really thankful for their customer service and just how much they love what they do.
Another benefit to using them is they're in Ohio. So I always like to have the smallest distance that they're being shipped, as possible. There's Ideal in Texas. There's, Murray McMurray in Iowa, but Ohio's going to be best for you.
If we order on Monday, do they ship on Monday? We get them Wednesday. They got to go pretty quick, right?
Yes, you'll get them Wednesday.
Well, that's if they're
Tuesday
ready.
or
So
Wednesday.
that's the thing I was hoping.
It's the overhatch.
Okay.
So they have to ship that day.
And what we can do too, which I was hoping to get into today, but we can go through that with you when you're actually going to be on clicking and picking the different chickens. But again, my advice is don't get too into reading. This one's friendly. This one's not. Pick the ones that you're like, oh, that is beautiful. And then definitely I'll send you.
You can't go wrong, really. What?
Egg color or bird or both?
Both.
I will send you the link to our video that Matt's top 25. I think that should be word
I'll
right there.
send you the link to the starter flock video.
Just don't get silkies. Americanas, it's always good to have one Americana or maybe two. She's definitely an Americana pusher because they're the ones that are going to lay the turquoise eggs and whatnot. The Welsh Summer lays speckled eggs. But your Buff Orpingtons, your Orpingtons in general, a Jubilee Orpington, those are gorgeous. But they may not all be available. So that's where it gets a little tricky when ordering online.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, though.
If I do this on Monday, what would be great is I could have the chicks and I could bring them in when you bring the coop to Fox and Friends in New York City on the square. Maybe just give them a little preview of their home. And Rachel can show how she's come around and loves the little chicks. We'll see.
It's just so funny because, on my show, we do a lot of fun, things. And one of the things I got to do was I got to go into an F-16 airplane and fly with the Thunderbirds. And all of it seemed like I just was sort of not thinking too much about it. I was actually really loving the outfit they put me on. I felt really super Tom Cruise and everything was fine. And they took pictures of me outside the plane. And then suddenly I was in the plane and the hatch came down and I realized, oh crap, we're actually going up, and I couldn't plane and, it was too late. And I feel a little bit like that right now with the chickens. I went from no chickens, rented chickens, okay, coop, and now we're talking about chicks and feathers and eggs.
The hatch is closing.
Yeah.
The Carolina Coop is the F-16 of coops, too.
Well, that's true.
This thing is beautiful. And by the way, Matt, you made this so it's for them almost going to match our house as well. The colors.
You're painting it cream.
And with a Rooster brown roof, so we're wildly excited. So
awesome!
You will love it. You will absolutely love it. It'll make everything so easy.
Yes, and that's the thing I definitely want to leave you with is as we talk about a lot of things, I know it can be overwhelming, but trust me, this is going to be the easiest hobby you've ever had, and it's going to be the most fun and rewarding. It's going to blow your mind. And we've even had customers that, Kristen mentioned earlier that even when the chickens are out scratching, it is very therapeutic. We've had people stop drinking that were alcoholics. They didn't realize the power of those chickens. So, and then Rachel, I can't thank you enough for being open to this and being part of this conversation. Because again, I get it. We're not trying to push that fear and take advantage of that, but I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this and giving us the opportunity that I know for a fact we're going to get you over this fear.
Yeah, we're going to come back in a year and see.
A lot of people are asking about a follow-up, I see in the comments.
Yep.
Yeah. They want to see how you are within a year.
We're thrilled. And behind what you see us right here, but behind us, our kids had a half a day of school, so they were back there listening to this whole conversation. As well about the chicks. The chicks are coming.
Yeah, it's on record now.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the post office will call about 4 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So, good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome, guys.
And I did the same thing. I was down there right away. Got the bees. Get these things out of here.
Yeah.
And I think they don't sting. But anyway, we're excited. Thank you guys for having us on. We want to do this on our podcast as well. We're going to have you guys come and we'll continue this conversation with more chicken knowledge, chicken math, chicken poop, the whole thing. We're going to do it.
Yeah, and it's a gateway drug to homesteading. Chickens, be ready. You will not believe some of the YouTube videos you're going to be watching soon.
They're well on their way.
Around the property.
Awesome.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Guys.
I always get so excited. It's almost like a baby shower.
Yeah. So and
I get that kind of feeling. Like they have no idea what they're in store for. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be a lot easier than a baby.
Yeah, and this reminds me, when you and I first started talking years ago now, and I asked you, I said, what is it that you love most about about chicken coops and talk to people about this and that, and you absolutely love helping them get started, get the setup going.
I get so excited.
Yeah. So I can't thank you enough for doing that.
And the chicken coops are what bridges the people, the customers that I love, the chicken people, and the chickens that I love. So that coop makes it all happen. Yeah, that's what I love.
So, all right, awesome. I was hoping we were going to get into more of the Meyer hatchery and actually looking at specific breeds, but what that made me realize we weren't there yet. A lot of those.
See, I don't want anybody to get their heart set on a breed that's not going to be there Monday.
Right.
Right. So it's better.
You're really pushing this Monday.
I mean, jump right in. The coop's coming. Like the year is getting away from you. You know, why wait?
Their coop's going to be 8 by 18 overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how many chickens? Let's
8 by 18. That's 144, right? Or no, 6 by 18 is one. No, gosh, I am horrible.
Yeah,
with
144.
Yeah.
So that's 14 chickens at the 10 square foot rule,
Yeah.
and we talked a lot about that. And then again. And I haven't done sales. I don't know how long. I forget and I take for granted that a lot of people, we need to keep sending that message that here's what you need to think about. Most important part is what size coop, and here's why. No, you don't need a rooster. Here's why. And I really thought that was a really good idea about what to get ready for your baby chicks coming. We should really do like a really good
I'll
recorded
need that from
video.
Kristen. I'll put that on a blog, and then we can do a video of it as well. I mean, I think we've done it on Video Chicken, but if you could write down things, because I don't raise baby chicks. I've only done it through a broody hen. Somebody asked about the healthy straw, and I wanted to address that because they're wondering if we still endorse it because we're not selling it right now. So.
That's a good pointed question. Is that a right way to say a pointed question? So how are you guys doing? Thank you for being here. Yes, we are live. It's September 20th, 2024. That was Rachel and Sean Duffy, and just so much fun again talking to them about getting ready for their coop and getting learning what you need to do to get chickens. And again, yes, Kristen's a chicken pusher, and I love ordering baby chicks online, but that doesn't mean you can't just go and research some places local. But this time of year, it's tough.
I got mine in September.
Really?
I did.
So it is possible.
Yeah, I got mine, and I got 2 or 3 weeks old. One of them still is definitely afraid of me. And 2 were like 7 weeks old, and one was like 5 and one was 10. So they were different ages, and I didn't even know that the little ones should be kept away from them. And I put them in like a dog crate, and they kept just popping through the things because they're so tiny. And then the oldest, my Rhode Island Red, she taught them because I was like, oh, we're supposed to keep them in the coop. Then I was finding these things out in like real time, and then I kept them in the coop for a couple of days. The babies, the littler ones, and fed them up there. But then they were all down together, and I noticed them all going up except for the 2 littler ones. And the Rhode Island Red came back down and showed them how to go up. So she taught them. She was kind of like the mother hen to them. It was really cute, and she was only 10 weeks old, but she just kind of took it upon herself. So I raised even different ages together for the first time, and it worked for me. That's
rare.
I know, and I have 2 of those still left. The one that's deathly afraid of me and the friendliest one in the world.
So to get back to the question is healthy straw. Yes, we love healthy straw.
We do.
Love healthy straw. Love coarse. I actually had some customers come in earlier this week and said, Matt, no. The coarse is way better than the fine. Okay. You hear my point? And I said, oh, thank you. Now, yes, we stopped keeping it in stock because we ran out of room. Period. And I hate it because we still have so many people asking for it.
I just ran out.
And I had a great meeting with the owner, the founder, the president, the CEO of Healthy Straw.
Ooh.
And wouldn't you know, I was right.
What?
Well, I mean, I don't want to gossip or whatever, but I had a feeling there was
what is the show for?
There was, no, you didn't let me gossip last week. No, there was a barrier in my way, and I didn't like it, and it started turning me off. And that barrier is no longer part of what's going on.
What?
So the owner, the founder, called me up.
Very cryptic.
Because I
is that the other reseller?
No.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. The owner did what called me up, said, Matt, would love to sell you some healthy straw. Would love for you to get selling it again, this and that. So I got right on the phone with him, and I told him, I said, here's what's been going on. I wasn't happy about it, but here's what I've been wanting to do. He goes, I would love to. And he's like, I'm so sorry that was happening, da-da-da-da. He reminded me a lot of myself, which I really appreciate because he has such a love and passion for his product. And I told him, I said, this healthy straw is amazing. We put it in one of the worst situations, and it did such a great job.
It's so good.
Yeah. However, we ran out of space. I got to figure out how to make space because the margin, unfortunately, is so small. I have to be mindful. Of course, we got to make money, but when things start to take up space and it slows down coop production or gets in the way of the hemp, I got to figure out a solution, and I haven't figured that out yet. Also, I want my name on it. I want Healthy Straw, and he is agreeing to do a co-brand, which is huge.
Yeah, that's
and that was the barrier that was told wouldn't happen.
This is also something.
Hit me
You
with
really
that.
want me to throw that?
Yeah, just don't hit the camera.
I know.
You ready? Oh, good throw, Ingrid.
Yeah.
So
I've been working out.
A box came for Ingrid, and I was like, I guess I can't open it. I'll wait for Ingrid to show up. So we're gonna open this up, and this is gonna be kind of a little bit of a surprise. Stop cheating. So again, thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in that comment section. Also, I forgot to mention, hit that thumbs up button, share the show. And it's already 1:10. I can't believe how fast time goes. But we got some more time. We are here to answer any and all questions. And there was another one. Yeah, go ahead. Throw it in.
Yeah.
Robin Anderson. We have hardware cloth at the bottom of our chicken run, but we have it covered by a 2-inch layer of compost. And we have tubs for dust bathing, and it works very well. We have no incidents of a foot problem. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's deep enough.
Yeah,
Not
2
at all.
inches doesn't.
You are very lucky.
I'm glad you're not having any trouble.
Right.
Yeah, because if you we are not advocates of burying any screen underneath your run area. You don't have to. That's way too much work. Put it on the outside on the Predator apron. We got 2 great videos showing you how to do it. If you were to do it, how deep should it be?
I mean, they love to take dust baths.
I would say a foot.
Yeah.
Minimum.
They like to scratch. And their feet are going to get stuck on that at some point. You might not even be aware of it. They might not be having a foot problem, but it might not just be the best environment for them.
Yeah, so be mindful, but we don't want to jinx you, but thank you for sharing that. All right, real quick. This was sent to Ingrid, and of course, I'm like, cookies.
I wish.
Crunchies.
So who is this sent by?
Okay, there's a gentleman, Dr. Timothy Lease, and he works with this company in California that make their own black soldier fly larvae.
Wow.
And it's made entirely in the U.S. Other companies are in U.S. and Canada. So this is entirely made in the U.S. And so we're going to be able to, this was just my sample to test on my chickens, because my chickens are the super bougie chickens. So they have actually, they've poo-pooed some other black soldier fly larva.
Show what's going on. You can't remember you're at.
Oh, we don't have the camera above.
I know. I was gonna hook it up, but okay.
So he just gave me a
always
little
have that.
sample, and he is going to send us 1 pound and 5 pound bags. We can buy them by the truckload. We can buy them by the pallet. We'll have to do the branding, so we'll have to put stickers on them. But the pricing is very good compared to
those
other.
Look yummy.
I know. They're supposed to be very high density, right? They look good.
They
All
do
right.
look good.
Crushed.
So American soldier fly larva, and they're willing to.
So they would sell it to us, and in the different quantities that we want. Like, if we want to buy a couple pallets or a truckload or whatever, and we can put our stickers on them and sell them as Carolina Coops, black soldier fly larva. They're supposed to be exceptional, so he wanted me to try them out. There's some information in there.
Wow. 32% protein.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and it seems like a really great company. They're super excited about it. They're selling to a couple places. Most of them are just selling them locally. They're not shipping them. So I told him we're going to have to work out boxes and things like that. But
have you ever eaten one?
No.
Have you ever wanted to?
No.
Ethan he'll just snack on these.
I told him that Ethan would eat those. I said, we have an employee that would actually.
If I was starving, I would.
Yeah.
Because, we talked about this not too long ago. I know you guys think I'm crazy,
The ones I'm growing look pretty meaty.
The soldier fly larvae are going to serve a huge purpose when we start printing our food. You'll have a cheeseburger. Mark my words. You're going to have a cheeseburger printed one day, and the protein will not be from beef. Will not be from cattle. It'll be soldier fly larvae, and I know that doesn't sound very appetizing. You want to try one with me? Would you do it?
No.
If I did it, would you do it?
I think the test is my chickens. Your chickens will eat anything. My chickens will not.
I'd be, because I hear I can
chickens
smell
will
them,
love these.
and you would think this would smell so bad. It doesn't, but it's an interesting smell. But bottom line is the quality of the soldier fly larva is supposed to be phenomenal.
Yes.
And that's all about what your soldier fly larva are eating. And what your chickens are eating, that's what you're going to eat. So
and it's just, most of that stuff comes from China.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on. So
mealworms most of the mealworms you buy come from China.
Whoa.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It's very rare to get. So Grubley's, which is also a great company, but their home harvest is United States and Canada. And then their world harvest is from all over different parts of the world. So this is very unusual to be all made here, grown here, fed here.
And this is out in California.
This is out in California. So
sweet.
Yeah, so I'm going to try them out. He's going to send us a 1 pound and a 5 pound bag because I think the smaller than that's not. No, I'm sorry, a 5 pound and a 10 pound because I don't think a 1 pound is. People aren't going. That's only if you have like lizards or something. But for chickens, it would be 5 or 10 pounds.
Okay,
and
cool.
He'll sell them, and we'll see if we can how much they'll cost to ship, and all that. We'll work all that stuff out. I just want, Aslan had a nice comment.
Yeah, I liked that. I was going to ask if we could share that.
My husband never liked birds, but he quickly grew to love raising and playing with the chicks every day. He now adores our 2 hens and wants to get more. So I'm predicting that that's what's going to happen with Rachel, but I'll be honest with you. This is the most extreme case. I don't know if you want to try playing the
I could play it. I'd maybe not have the audio on it.
Yeah, see, we were trying to play the what happened at Fox and Friends, where they brought in a chicken, and she is definitely scared to death of chickens. She's like, especially that one, because you couldn't see her eyes, or his eyes. I think it was a rooster. It was a Polish. And it just brought back memories. I remember when my friend did that to me, and it was terrifying. But I was like, you know what? She needs to raise baby chicks.
Right.
Just like I raised a baby snake, and I fell in love with snakes.
Yeah, no one's going to be afraid of a baby chick, right?
Oh. I feel like that's the same way with
I feel like this is pushing it. I feel like Rachel, I don't know, she was already starting to come around. Did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't want them to free range, but I guarantee you, because she doesn't want to like walk into them.
Yeah.
Like, just blah, blah, blah. And I get them not wanting on her porch and her furniture. But I bet you in a year she's going to be like picking them up, and she's going to be calling them, and you shake that bag of mealworms or black soldier fly larvae, and they come over to you because they know that sound.
I think it might take 2 years for her to pick them up, but she will like them in a year.
Yeah. I don't know. How can you not? I hold them against their will all the time.
So yeah, and we're going to be going back down to Fox headquarters with a chicken coop on display October 5th. So we'll be back on the national news. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. So she does the morning show, so she'll be there. And I do like that idea. If they have their baby chicks by then, they bring them in. And Skip's going to be showing off the chicken coop. That could be kind of fun. Mm-hmm. And then we got
I thought you were going to Italy.
Not until the 20th.
Oh,
yeah. So this is it.
Oh.
I'm gone. After this show, I fly out. The time has come. Big weekend. Big news. Can't share it yet. We fly out this 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock today.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So no show next week.
It's going to be possibly I'll be back next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
And there's just so much going on. It is now, once I get back, because I think I got to go up to New York. We got to close on our farm up there. And then I come back. And then we fly out to Italy. And hopefully we just got the green light.
You can do closing.
We just.
Remotely.
What do you mean?
You don't have to go up there for closing.
You're right. I don't have to go up there for closing, but because of the closing, there's still some loose ends.
All right.
Just trust me. Thank you.
Just want to let you know.
I know. I
You're
appreciate
not notary.
Rudy said that he used light 24 hours for the first 5 weeks. So
yeah, I didn't think that was.
Yeah,
but I think you're right. They're babies. They're just going to sleep.
Yeah,
because they want to sleep.
And remember, they're sleeping underneath a brooder plate,
Yeah,
so it's dark
yeah.
under there.
No, that's a good point. So just a regular, even an LED light. That's not.
Well, if it's in the brooder, we would always recommend an LED light because of the risk of fire.
Right. And then the heat plate. I love the heat plate. I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I always did the infrared light, but it's dangerous and
you can use it. We just can't recommend it.
Yeah.
That was the healthy straw question I wanted to address. A lot of them are comments from when Sean and Rachel were on the show. So I'm just
all these things that Matt is talking about are in print in books or places you buy chicks.
Yeah, they have like little checklists.
I am going to start my book. I cannot wait. The time has come. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the comments. If you have any questions, fire away. And
I gotta go down to the bottom.
Why?
Because a lot of them were comments on
And I did see some people have some comments on their dogs getting along with their chickens, which is always nice. My dog, it took
laugh out loud.
about a year.
Silkies are quite special. It took ours 3 months to learn how to go up and down the ramp. Yeah, thank you. I mean, come on. And we have a silky ramp, folks. We've learned the hard way.
I have one silky.
Real World Chicken Edition. So that was the other thing, too. Rachel and Sean were both on reality TV. Do you remember the Real World? San Francisco, I think it was. God, that was so long ago.
They were on that?
Yeah.
Is that how they met?
Actually, see, I didn't want to get into their personal business, but I think so. I just thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all these years later, 9 children. That's huge. That's like Brady Bunch 1.5. I mean, can you imagine? I wish. I keep telling us I want to have more kids now. Now that our life is kind of normal, that would be so much fun. Bruce Fahey says, question.
Where is he? Okay. Sorry.
When a broody chicken finishes or stops raising her babies, do they lose their place in the pecking order? Do they have to find their spot on their own, or do they inherit their mom's spot? They usually inherit their mom's spot.
I don't think so.
Or at least in that. Actually, you're right. In that, when they inherit their mom's spot in at least the first brooding phase for the first 8 weeks. But after that, they do have to. I mean, there's several of them, so they're gonna
the lowest.
They're gonna have to find their spot.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that because you say that all the time. So, all right. So explain it. While they're babies, they take their.
They get the same respect that she did.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
So then
they're part of the flock.
So then the mother says, "Okay,
they don't get pecked.
I'm done. I'm done with you. Out on your own." Then the pecking order has to get reestablished.
Right.
But there's not nearly as much fighting, right?
Right.
Well, my experience both times was with the chicks that different hens raised. They were on the bottom end of the pecking order, and they kept getting kicked off the roost bars, which is why I made those inserts for the nest boxes, because they kept going into the nest box to sleep. It was a battle. So my experience has always been that the babies, once they're fledglings and older pullets and stuff, they're on the bottom because they're new. It makes sense unless you have someone like Midge around. But yeah, pretty much on the bottom.
Yeah, and I called Tractor Supply this week. They said they're done with chicks mid-September. So last week was the last chick shipment for Tractor Supply.
Yeah, I think like I said, I got mine in the mid-September from Urban Chicken.
Urban Chicken, yeah.
Yeah, here in Raleigh.
Urban Chicken goes later here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Question.
Yeah. So.
Should I get this?
Seeing a lot of new viewers. I welcome you guys being here. Someone says if we sell soldier fly larvae, they'll buy them for us.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they all came from China.
They don't all come from China,
but
they're not grown none are grown exclusively in the United States.
So that can be really good or really bad. I tell you, the China stuff scares me.
Yeah.
So
Karsten, thank you for your review.
Yes, he was the guy that was here last week. Oh, and we were bringing in the ladder.
Oh,
I didn't even realize that was you and Beverly. So I'm sorry that we didn't.
Oh,
your timing was terrible in that we weren't able to say hi to you.
I'm
and your
so
wife.
sorry. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, he should know not to come at noon.
Yeah, you should know.
But he says, does the rooster breed or hen breed take precedence on the breed of the chick that hatches? I don't have enough experience with this.
That's genetics, yeah.
But I have seen, I've seen it both ways. So
Yeah,
I don't know that there is a precedence
Yeah. I
or
don't know.
preference in
Yeah.
the genetics.
I think it's just like with people that
Right.
certain things are more recessive and certain things are, but I don't know about chicken breeding.
Ben, my buddy Ben, Kristen, have you been posting on Friends of Hens? No, I haven't.
You gotta
I
do
haven't
that.
yet, but I will. I will.
We will both do it.
I have told you, you need to. I know it's not easy.
I have a great video that my son is editing right now.
It's
me moving chickens, but it's pretty funny.
You can make a living. I know you think I'm crazy. You can make a living on people paying you for your advice and helping them get set up with baby chicks.
I've done some of that this summer.
Yeah. But you know, I think what you should do is do your Friends of Hens. I've always told you that's a great name. You got to do videos. You got to get the bait out there. And then I know, and of course, we always talk about it, having customers pay you for your time to help get them set
I've
up.
taken the summer off, and it's been wonderful. But I'm back.
Yeah, must be nice. You're back? You're done with all your vacations?
Yeah, I had 3 students stay with us this summer. One from France, one from Germany, and one from Spain. So we did a lot of local traveling, and they did traveling, but I had a house full of young adults, that's for sure.
And now you just have you and your son.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, listen. All right, so yes, next Friday, I think we can do another show. I don't mind doing another show. I should be back. And maybe by then I'll have some permission to talk about the big news. I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect right now.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
This is going to be nuts. I can't wait to hopefully pull all this off. And then after that, off to Italy. I don't know what to think. I've already accepted. I'm down 22 pounds. I'm going to gain it all back. Look, I'm hungry now. I'm going to eat all that pizza, that pasta.
His wife does a cooking class there on site.
She's cooking for us 3 days
right.
or 3
so
times a day.
To eat what she cooks.
I hope she's ready.
Are you staying in the workers' quarters?
I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
So
I don't even know if we can all fit in the vehicle.
It was pretty sparse.
What does sparse mean?
Utilitarian.
You and the big words.
Spartan.
What? English, please.
Like a dorm room from 1970.
That's still not helping him. It's very just the essentials, basic.
Yeah. It's like if you had someone put on a new roof in your house and you wanted to have a little space for them to stay, that's where they would stay.
No, I get that.
That's essentially what you guys are.
Dorm room, like I remember my dorm room.
Almost like an orphanage.
It used to be an orphanage, wasn't it? Before it was a school. There was a school, then orphanage, and now a hotel. I don't know. So it's going to be fascinating. And I don't know what to do as far as I want to get a bunch of videos. I want to be able to share. Hopefully I can go live. I'm assuming I just get on their Wi-Fi and I just, hey, here we are.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been there. I've never been there. I don't know what to expect.
Gina says, I received my T-shirt yesterday. She was one of the Golden Bell winners last week. Thank you so much, and love to thank you for the card as well. It was a nice touch.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I think we had 3, and I only got.
I was
people.
feeling generous, boy. I was feeling generous.
I know, but the third, I don't know who the third person was, and they didn't.
Oh, they never.
contact
Yeah,
me.
they never answered because we did a competition. There was 2 questions, and then I think it was Gina that actually.
Gina and Kat won, and there was somebody else because there was 3 winners, and I'd have to look back at
I want to do a competition every week, and I don't know if you guys have any ideas out there. I forget to even think about it. Oh, I love the one where what was the cleanest corporate restaurant? So many people knew
that
It
was
just
the question.
incredible.
Yeah, that's the one. That
do you craft? What's that? Do you craft style coop for areas that are regular? I don't know what that there, Brenda.
Yeah. Hot weather coops.
Do you craft or style coop areas that regularly get to 100 to 120 degree heat index, high humidity, like in South Texas?
Believe it or not, listen, our coops are good for that. We have coops,
ventilation and shade.
We have coops as far as you can't get any more south in Texas. Brownville, what was it called? I'm telling you, it is way down there,
Right.
and it is hot, and it is humid. Our coops, I really like to think of it are one size fits all. They can go anywhere. But, someone recently asked about, do you really need a floor in your hen house? You don't. You don't have to do all the things that we do, and I was almost going to come up with a design called the tropical coop, where it's just a run with roost bars with maybe like 3 walls to block wind chill or whatever. You just got to, like you said, lots of ventilation.
Open air coop.
Open air coop. Yep, that's all you need. We can do anything. Oh my gosh. Oh, I meant to share with you guys the next custom coop. Holy cow. It's going to be something else. It's all Eastern red cedar, mortise and tenon, live edge siding.
Nice.
Beautiful. There is, what did Mackenzie call it? Oh, there's a spot just for the rooster. Oh gosh, I wish I wanted to talk about it. And then there's the goose house. It's going to be nuts. So that's what's coming up next week. And then
So we'll show these different coops, and maybe we'll do a naming contest for that other coop on the show.
Did anyone ever answer about that?
They did, but not very many. So we'll do it on the show. We'll do that next week.
Okay, so next week I need your guys' help. I can't believe I never thought.
I think Kenzie came up with the right name, but
it's not bad. It's not bad. Ethan did a coop for a customer in Montana. What, a year ago?
Yeah.
And I just happened to be going through all our SketchUp drawings, and I saw one. I'm on the phone with Evan or on a Zoom call or whatever, and I bring it up. And I'm like my jaw just dropped. I was like, that's an amazing coop. Holy cow. I'm like, Evan, when are we doing this? He goes, we did that like a year ago. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't have any pictures. So immediately I get on the phone with Ethan. He sends me the pictures. I am just blown away.
And then he calls me.
Yeah. I'm like, Ingrid, is this on the website?
Is that the one with the storage?
Yeah. The pull-out drawers, literally drawers on slides on the back underneath the hen house.
So where the brooder would go.
Yes, the brooder basement. And there is a brooder basement on that one.
There is.
And the pictures are gorgeous. So not only do you have a gorgeous coop, I think Ingrid even is like, oh yeah, these are nice looking pictures. And I want to make that a standard coop, but I want to call it something.
Yeah.
So let's do that next week.
Yep.
You're going to bring it up. You're going to show it. And I want to show everyone a little teaser of the custom coops coming up.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. So thankful.
I'll share a picture of my coop.
Yes.
How is that going?
I finally got my chickens in there. It's not completely done, but it is functional and amazing.
Good. And doesn't it make life so much easier?
Yes. I got everybody in there just in time to spread out some grass seed so they won't eat it.
Oh, the rye.
Yeah.
Yeah, you love. I'm just looking up that place. I want to remember, like, you can't get. I thought it was Brownsville. Yeah, you're not getting that. That's it. You hit Brownsville, you're not going any further south in Texas. We got coops down in there, and yeah, it's hot, it's humid. Not as bad as South Florida. I think it's probably even more humid in South Florida. East Stormy, how are you doing today? Bun's all moved into his new run. He's loving it and is managing to get into the snuggle tunnel without the shelves for now. That's awesome.
So she got one of our rabbits.
Yes, make sure you send us pictures.
Please send me pictures. I will put them on the website. We only have the one video of the bunny bungalow, so.
Sassafras.
Okay, sorry.
My chicks are now 18 weeks, and I want to integrate them with my existing flock. Did I say integrate? Why am I?
That's
integrate.
Fine.
Integrate.
Yep. Integrate is fine.
Integrate. I noticed down here in the South that you guys really emphasize the T's, and I'm like, okay, do I got to start doing that? Right now, they meet in the divided run. Is now the time to let them mix.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just make sure they have plenty of room.
And 2 feeding stations.
2 feeding stations, 2 watering stations.
Yes, that does help.
That's a good point.
That's what I've always done when Kristen gives me like 4 full-grown chickens.
You didn't do that again, did you?
No, she gave me that
Almost.
one she
We're just not letting it go?
No, I almost did it again.
Yeah.
You should.
Not one. It's too stressful for all of us. But
okay.
But Kristen
you
gave
heard
me
her. I'll put several in her at night.
Kristen gave me 4 at once, and I had to do that. I had to kind of like separate them, but then it all worked out, and they formed their own little alliances, which is also interesting when you were talking about like chicks that are raised together. There's all sorts of weird alliances that happen.
It's like the prison yard.
Yeah, but even like now, like I have the oldest who's kind, who's 7, and she's really friendly with my youngest who's constantly getting bullied. So, she's kind of like, it's like but she's not I wouldn't say she's the top of the pecking order. She's almost like that quiet leader where the other one of Kristen's chickens, is the big bully of the yard. But she lays beautiful green eggs, and we love her.
All right, guys, I got to get going. I got to get on an airplane. I got to go hopefully do something that is a 1 in a billion opportunity, if not more. Can't wait.
Good luck on your trip.
Thank you. I'm going to come back
about
with some good news, or I'm going to have to wait even longer. We will be back next week. I'm going to need your help naming a chicken coop. So until then, have a wonderful, safe, and happy weekend. Later.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.